Wow.
I was going
It
to
wasn't even
interrupt you no
close.
matter what, Omar.
He was still on 98.
I didn't even dent that fucker.
What a dick move.
Well, oh yes, I was just going to let you continue counting down from 100 because I'm just that nice of a person. Okay, hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome finally to the next episode of Jash Talks. And where today we'll be reviewing the remake of The Last House on the Left, unrated, except I know me and Marty watched the correct version, Omar didn't. I don't think I specified in the post whether or not it was supposed to be unrated, so...
Yeah, I think honestly I don't know if I watched the original or not. So I don't know if I watched the unrated.
The original stars, Jesse Pinkman.
Well, I mean, I know I didn't watch the original because I've seen the original. It's a different one. It's also like 20 years old or something, so it's kind of easy to tell the difference. But I don't know if I've seen the unrated or not. If it's unrated, I don't know actually. I mean, I know it was pretty horrifying. I know that if that wasn't the unrated version, I don't ever want to see the unrated version.
I've basically only seen parts of edited for TV on the Siffy channel and unrated because I just don't. I always watch the unrated. I've never watched the theatrical.
I watched the full original and I loved it. It was pretty good. I watched the remake and yeah.
I thought it was a decent movie, but I thought it was kind of.
Okay, wait. Before we continue, I need to introduce you, assholes.
Okay, I'm asshole number 1.
I'm asshole number 2.
I have 2 assholes, people. It's a scientific knowledge. Okay, but with me today, as always, is my loyal, perverted co-host, Omar.
Baronicus Pudgicus. How do you do?
And
enlightening.
Whatever the fuck that means. And with me, coming on to yet another episode is Marty, my friend that I can just tell, hey, want to jump off a cliff? Sure! And, that's...
I will jump off that cliff. Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Yeah, and I am supposed to have another guest, John, but he didn't really seem to be responding like everyone else.
He's too busy fighting the Covenant.
What?
He's too busy fighting the Covenant.
Good. And so, because even though the post it says the day and time, everyone usually goes, "Hey, what time is it airing, Jash? What time?" And he wasn't really responding like that at all. So I'm like, is he coming or not? It'd be actually really weird for someone to actually read the post.
He's probably going to read
So, and then I've asked 2 people that I won't mention until the end of the podcast and they don't show up that may randomly appear in the episode.
We shall call them the Ninja Guests.
What?
We shall call them the Ninja Guests.
The Ninja Guest. Yes, we now have Ninja Guest. Woot! We're very professional here.
Very honorable.
Okay, so yeah, I got this at the $5 DVD bin at Walmart.
$5 of emotional trauma available now at Walmart.
Oh, and
it wasn't worth $5.
$5. Lovely gems like this.
Oh, good. Sounds fun. Holy shit.
So, So basically the plot of the movie is that this girl gets raped and then she... Yeah. Okay, girl gets raped and then the family seeks revenge on her rapists.
She gets raped and killed. Gotta emphasize the killing.
Well,
that was pretty funny.
One gets killed, another gets raped.
Doesn't she die afterwards? I think she dies.
Yeah, she gets shot in the back.
Yeah, but she doesn't die, at least, yeah, in the remake, the one we're reviewing. Well, I actually have a part of this episode where you'll just talk about the original and I'll listen. But for now, we're just sticking to the remake.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I thought it was a decent movie. But, first of all, I felt like the characters acted in ways that didn't make sense. I felt like it was a little bit her fault. I'm not saying rape is the girl's fault. I'm just saying I think it was her specific fault. There were several avenues she could have taken to avoid this happening. Several times. I feel like it was, you know how when you watch a horror movie, and when you watch a horror movie, there are always moments where you're like, if you don't do that, you won't die. If you don't do that, you won't die. But the person always does all the things to walk straight into the ever-loving arms of death.
I think the first problem that is actually hey, I have a good stash. And I had forgotten that the kid wasn't the actual rapist, so I'm just like yelling at the TV, "Oh, you're a rapist for the day. I have a good stash of weed."
Exactly. But like the reason I think that's a problem, and it's always a problem in other horror movies, but it's more here because I felt like the punishment did not fit the crime. Like in other horror movies, they do the stupid thing, and then they die, and we usually don't care much about the characters, and it's usually in a weirdly unrealistic way that they die or something horrifying. But it's never truly traumatic. In this, though, it's like, here, this person made unrealistic mistakes, but now we're going to inflict a realistic horror upon them. You know what I mean?
I didn't like, okay, I talked about this in the pre-show, but I'm triggered by rape, and triggers have been wired down by Tumblr and the social justice warrior community, but they're supposed to refer to things that will set off a panic attack. Now, I can control myself if I'm warned that there's going to be rape. But so, I don't generally go seeking out these types of films, but Gillard Dillahunt from Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles was in it, so I'm like, I'll check it out. So yeah. So when Krug, raped Mary, I was like, he needs to fucking die in the worst fucking possible way ever.
Now here's the thing. I understand that whole, like, basically what they did there. This wasn't a movie about the girl at all. The girl was a sacrificial lamb, which is one thing that I don't miss so much. She was there for the sole purpose of making us hate that character. And in that doing so, she succeeded. And all the torture that goes upon him later is worth it because of that. But it feels so gratuitous. It's like they didn't really make a story of it so much as just an excuse to torture someone.
Yeah, I do think when watching the film is very, hey, set up family, rape, revenge. Very, yeah. It was more like a process rather than film, I guess you could say. I still like the film, but I can say that I did see that.
Now, I know you're quite horrified by rape, and obviously I think most people are, and you're triggered by it. I'm not triggered, I don't have panic attacks by it, but I hate it regardless. It's not something I like. Well, I feel like it's on the level of realistic horror that I don't often like to watch because it's too too realistic for me. It's too real, yeah. Yeah, like killing happens as well, but I mean it's less. I think the reason killings are much easier to deal with is because the person does not suffer afterwards. It's over. You know what I mean? And rape, the reason rape's so bad, obviously, is there are lots of reasons why, but I think the main reason is, first of all, the person lives to suffer afterwards, and secondly, the perpetrator takes a literal pleasure from it. It's about as evil as you could possibly imagine. But yeah, I hated the way it was just seemed like a foil to set a setup for that to happen, and it really annoyed me. And it didn't make sense. It was so annoying. I hate that so much. But the revenge was okay, I guess, and it did what it came there to do, and what it came there to do was pretty horrifying. But I mean, it seemed like that. It seemed like an exploitation flick, which it was, as far as I can tell. So I don't know. I wasn't a massive fan. It was decent though. One thing that really annoyed me is that this bases on the unrealisticness. Now, I'm not a woman. Marty, you're not. Jash, you are. But I'm sure you can like agree with this. Wouldn't you fight tooth and fucking nail before any of that shit happened? I don't have like if someone who was proportionally that much stronger than me had taken me captive, and I knew that shit was about to go down, which by the way is pretty obviously is going to go down, I would break my fucking fingers before I let anything happen. You know what I mean? I'd fight to the goddamn death. You're gonna die anyway. These motherfuckers are gonna probably shoot you anyway. Fight till if you don't fight to the point that you physically can't move your muscles anymore, you were a coward.
Yeah, I do like that. I can understand at first the shock, and then she was trying to use her brains to escape, and she did. She fooled them into going down the wrong path, so she had a better chance of getting to the house, and she did end up fighting tooth and nail.
Yes, but
not
really.
really.
During the actual act, the moment where you think you would be fighting back most, she didn't do shit. You know what I mean? It just kind of sat there and let it happen. I was like,
I mean, your friend was just stabbed and bleeding dead.
Okay, that's the part I don't understand. My friend is just being stabbed. I'm next. I'm not going to sit there and let it happen to me. But it's a different mentality. It's like
I think of her being in shock.
Well, yeah, but it's like a fight or flight thing. I personally, if I was in that situation, yeah, I'd be shocked. But I'd then go into overdrive mode and just kick some goddamn ass. I'd probably lose. But it doesn't matter. I'd fight until I die, you know what I mean? Because, I'd rather that. That's an outcome I prefer. And she didn't, and that annoys me. And it might just be she's just that kind of person. And I don't know if people are actually like that, but it just seems unrealistic. I don't know anyone who would want to just... shocked as you could be, I feel like most people would still react in some rudimentary self-defense kind of level, you know what I mean? You're at the very basic level, you're being harmed, you want to protect yourself, right? Even if you're shocked, you're going to do that. But I feel like unless you were being restricted in some way, you would always fight back. And that annoyed me. And maybe I'm wrong, but it annoyed me that I didn't see a fight back. It might just be that I wanted him to be hurt. I didn't want it to happen. So the entire time I was shouting out, just fucking do something!
What do you think, Marty?
To caveat on what he's already said, the majority of the people who go off and do things like kill somebody or rape somebody, they don't do it just because, I want to have sex and nobody wants to have sex with me.
You definitely see with Krug in the movie that wasn't about anything about sex.
They get pleasure out of it, and they get pleasure out of the fight for it. So the fact that she didn't even move a muscle when everything was going down, when her friend was being killed, or when she finally did run away, even still, that was just lake. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to swim away from a gun. Come on.
Well, actually, if you do dive down deep enough... Even still.
A small caliber gun would get to her anyway.
Yeah, Yeah, I agree. It was pretty unrealistic to me. And
yeah, it seemed like she had embraced victimhood, which is a mean thing to say, but it does seem like she was like, oh, okay, I'm in trouble now. I'm going to be hurt horribly. I'm just going to let this happen to me so the viewers can start hating this guy and then the revenge can happen. I feel like most people, if not all, don't you not think the movie would be much better if it didn't even get back to the family? I feel like it would have been much better if she fought back, got away pre-rape, and then got her revenge then for her friend. It would have been a much better movie because it would have been a movie of her almost becoming a victim, but her being fuck that.
How about this? She gets raped, but then she kills the guy while he's doing it.
That could work too, but it'd still be horrifying. But then, at the very least, it would constitute enough of a attempt for her to defend herself that I wouldn't be upset by it. I'd be like, okay, she tried. Her being raped wasn't a result of her not trying to protect herself. It was just she couldn't do it enough. But she got out of it, and that would make more sense. That would make a lot more sense than just sitting there.
At least in the original, she fought back. A difference between the remake and the original, pretty much the only difference, was that instead of going to smoke weed with the kid, she went to a concert. And that's how it went down.
Yeah,
at a band concert.
That makes more sense than hey, I have some good weed. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck do you expect to happen? Do you just generally go off and trusting, hey, I have a good stash? Hey, strangers that you have never met.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who actually would do that. I know one specific person who does. But the problem is, I don't know anyone who would do it with someone they don't know. You know, that's the caveat there.
Who would go with someone who they do know and then let their friend go in and not follow in with them? That scene, I was just like, what are you doing still sitting in the vehicle?
Yeah, she is not only a bad person, but an idiot.
Yeah, I understand that from a thematic point because you're supposed to think the friend's in danger and go like, fooled ya!
Okay, here's the thing.
Fucking stupid.
Another thing that annoyed me about this, ironically, this wouldn't annoy me if the movie was set in England. But the movie is set in America. She's a new place going to meet someone she doesn't know who sells drugs, like so a drug dealer, right? Mm-hmm. Now, if you're in America and you're going to a drug dealer, I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you guys have never bought drugs at all, but who doesn't bring a gun?
I haven't bought drugs.
Regardless, who doesn't bring a gun to that scenario? You know, you guys have the option, bring one. You know what I mean? It's a good valid situation to think, hey, maybe I should bring some protection here because I'm going around clearly dangerous individuals. I'll bring a protection item, like a gun.
A condom.
I'll bring a taser. Bring even a knife. You know, if she had the forethought to think for a second about defending herself, she would have been much better off. I feel like this movie, like, it balances itself on a precarious mix of victimhood and idiocy. And that's what my problem with it is. It takes so many leaps of logic, and it makes me hate the girl so much. But at the same time, I feel bad for her because she doesn't. No matter what she did, she didn't deserve what happened to her. But regardless, it's a movie, so I can call her an idiot. You know, it's not real life. So real life, you couldn't do it.
You can call her an idiot, but she's not a real person. If anyone wants to bash any of us here today, this is fiction.
Well, I'd probably still call the real person an idiot.
Well, I mean, a rape victim's an idiot for what happened to her.
Here's the thing.
It's not because...
Whereas a real person might be an idiot if she did the same thing, you could never call her that because there's no good use. There's no use for it at that point. I would tell other people, but as long as it never go back to her, because like she's had enough. She needs to be separate from this. But like,
at that point,
know that she was being an idiot. You know? Pardon?
At that point, she's dead. It won't make a difference.
It's a bad point, actually. But that's the thing, you know, I feel like the one thing about rape that's really these days terrifying to me is that you don't know how to deal with it, not only on a it happening level, but on an outside level, on a societal level. Like, for example, if my girlfriend was going to a horrible like area, like a really dank ghetto area, right? I would ask that she probably dress a little more conservatively and bring you know something to defend herself with. And you might be like, hey, that's not okay. I mean, I just don't want her to get killed. I feel like if she dressed in a way that wouldn't draw attention to herself, it'd be fine. I feel like if I walked down a similar area in like parachute pants in bright yellow, maybe I'd have more trouble there as well. You know what I mean? It's just like
you'd have more trouble everywhere.
It's a valid point, but you know what I mean. I'm just saying there are situations where you take steps to defend yourself, whether you're a girl or not. And it's just like the movie she took none of it.
Omar, the only thing I really disagree with is that the dress, because sometimes that doesn't really help. But I would definitely agree, bring some mace or some weapon to defend.
Sure, if it was a cereal.
I mean, here's the thing. It's not. I'm not saying it's a 100%, but I will say it like this. It's not gonna make it less likely. You know what I mean? If you're walking down a horrible ass neighborhood, okay, what's more likely? Okay, yeah, if you're wearing like let's say imagine you're wearing a burqa, frankly, okay, you're probably gonna get more attention that way too. So don't wear a burqa. You know what I mean? That's gonna backfire. You want to dress conservatively, not conservative. You want to dress as is the norm for generally people in the area you live. You understand? But if you dress, say, in something sexually alluring or something provocative, okay? It's fine to dress like that, but here's the thing. Inevitably, you're going to catch some eyes. People are going to start looking, which is fine, it happens, okay? Now, it's just as a numbers game, if you think of that, more people are looking, it's more likely that one of them is not a very nice fellow. It's just the very basic logic. And whereas it's fine for women to wear what they want, I'm just saying you have to recognize that sometimes there can be effects of what you do and what you wear. And I'm not saying it's slow or anything. I'm just saying that as an effect of wearing something that looks nice, you're gonna get looks, and that might end up badly. So it just seems like a bad place to want to do that. You know what I mean? You can do it if you want.
Like some seedy part of town, I definitely agree.
Exactly. I'm not, it's in general, it's fine, right? But if you're gonna go somewhere where it's dangerous, don't.
If you want.
By that same logic of affecting how you act in different places. She went to a place that was clearly dangerous, around dangerous people, and chose to not affect any defense measures at all. None whatsoever.
Yeah.
Imagine a tiny little gun, little snub-nosed gun. If she had a little gun in her pocket, the movie would have been 5 minutes long. Walked in there, bang, bang, bang. Okay, sorted. Let's go.
Pretty much. If you walk down the street in lingerie, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, like it will draw attention.
Oh God, where's that from?
South Park.
Archer.
Yeah, I knew it was. I thought it was from there, but I couldn't remember. I'm like, that sounds like a meme. I know this.
But yeah, like the problem with saying stuff like that is like it's not like I'm not trying to be mean to women or anything. I'm not trying to be anti-feminist or anything like that. I genuinely think that it's a worry to me, like if that happened. You know what I mean? I don't.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. I'm not trying to control women at all. I just think that might be a cause that could be helped. I feel like at the very least, I feel like being allowed to wear what you want, you're allowed. It's fine, but you really
have to look at the consequences of doing that.
Yeah, the consequences of it going wrong, I feel like it's like, maybe you don't wear that dress just one time, just in case. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm fine. I'll apologize when until I die. But if I'm right, you kind of avoided some lifelong turmoil there. You know what I mean? Some life-changing shit is now not going to happen to you. It's like, yeah. So yeah, I feel like in a similar vein, she should have brought I think what she wore wouldn't have an effect. For her, the way she dressed was relevant because she was in a situation where she was directly involved with these people. She should have brought something to defend herself with, though. Like even a knife would have made a difference. Not much, but it would have made a difference.
No, while watching it, I realized how old it was because I'm like, holy shit, those are what cell phones used to look like. And couldn't you smack? I mean. Maybe it's just my nostalgia.
They would have never broken that easy.
Bricks.
They would have never broken that easy. It's like the Nintendo chips. Nowadays they have discs for game systems. The Nintendo things were big, bulky things that you couldn't break even if you ran over with a frickin' truck. But he stepped on that cell phone and it fucking shattered. I was like, what?
Yeah, they should have. That was the weapon. The cell phones should have been the fucking.
They could have used the cell phones as weapons. Not gonna lie.
Could have just taken them out. It would have been overkill. It's like Thor's hammer, honestly.
She was a sports player, so I mean, she could have probably thrown something pretty hard. So, I mean. Yeah.
But yeah, in closing, you guys, I'm sure you understand what I mean, right? Like there are several ways you can take to protect yourself, and whereas some may be controversial, I feel like not doing so is more of a risk than doing so.
Yeah, and
I feel like
the same thing, honestly.
Yeah. Pardon?
I'd do the same thing, honestly.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing about this: if you went to this situation, man, would you not bring a gun?
I would have a gun.
Situation because I would decide not to buy weed from a stranger.
Of course. Unless, but assuming any of us lost the amount of intelligence we've had that stops us from doing such stupid shit, we would still bring a gun, right?
I'd have a gun if I don't know the person. If I know the person, I'd have a knife.
Yeah.
And a gun in the car.
Yeah, I want to point out, this requires us to be dumb enough to go. So a dumber version of ourselves that chooses to go still brings a gun.
Wait, hang on. How is there a dumber version of myself? I'm confused.
Wow.
Touché.
But I can't really do guns just because I have horrible depth perception, so
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you just fire blindly into the middle.
You don't have to hit anybody. If you just fire that thing, people are ducking in. That's enough for you to get away.
Yeah, as an Englishman, I assure you that all you have to do is show me a gun and I'll move countries.
Yeah, in 95% of the time, if you point a gun at somebody, they will stop. If you shoot at in front of them, they will stop.
Did I tell you guys about the time I nearly got shot?
What?
Yeah, it happened a month or so ago. I went to the shops and it was quite late, and I was alright. Go get some milk and stuff. And I get there, and I'm outside the shop. It's a place called McCall's, and there was this guy outside. This like a Pakistani-looking fellow. He was quite tall and lanky. He had one of those long overcoat jackets on, and he was just standing outside looking at the door. And I was like, huh, It's a suspicious-looking fella. But you know what? I live in England. You know, nothing we can do. It's fine. So I walk inside.
Everyone in England sounds suspicious with their British voice.
So I walk inside, and I get halfway down the first lane. It's a pretty small shop, so it's not that far. All of a sudden, fucking bang! My heart pops out my goddamn chest. I turn around, and the guy's standing inside the door, and he's pointing his gun at the roof. And he'd like shot the roof or something, I guess. And I kind of get down to my knees and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? The dude takes another shot, a shot, and kind of he starts talking towards the cashiers. I forget what he said now because I was freaking out. Now, obviously, in that situation, I was thinking what we all think. Okay, he hasn't seen me. He doesn't know I'm here. I could take up I look around, saw some hard butter still in the fridge. I could probably use that maybe. You know what I mean? Take something, right? Smack him on the back of the head. Be a fucking hero.
No.
Alternatively, and that's the point where I ran out the back door. Because fuck that. As I got to I went around the back and I went around the front, and as I got to the front, I saw the guy running out the front door as well and running down the street. And apparently, he didn't have anything in hand, so he didn't take anything.
What the fuck?
Even in the military, they teach us don't be a hero. Don't ever be a hero.
Being a hero is a terrible idea. Being alive is better.
Exactly. Brian, Revs, had come down to where my mom lived for Thanksgiving, and we were staying at her then apartment. She's since moved. And so me and Revs were just lying on the bed, and then I think someone's about to break into the room. And so me, being me, I just ducked behind his body and put my head up slowly over his shoulder. And he's like, Jash, what are you doing? I'm like, I thought someone was breaking in. Then why did you hide behind me? So I can't blame you, Omar, because nothing actually happened. It was just not sound, but I can't call you out on it because I was accusing the love of my life as a body shot.
Well, the thing is, afterwards, when I saw him and stuff, I didn't go back in. I didn't stay for the police or anything because I figured out pretty quickly what it was. I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but there are a lot of gangs around here and in Bradford in general.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of opposing gangs too, the Russian gangs, Pakistani, Irishmen, Chinese, etc.
Oh yeah.
As a result, lots of kind of gang violence happens. But usually it's restricted to the gangs. You know what I mean? Like drug dealer knocks up another drug dealer. Happened very recently, actually. And I'm fairly certain what this was a case of them not paying protection money or something along those lines, and one of the gang members, I'm guessing, making a point. So yeah, awesome. I really was thinking, okay, there are enough people in there that were to make a statement if they want. I live around here though, so I'm not gonna put my name down on anything where they could track me if they wanted to. So.
Oh, that's cool.
They had cameras and shit anyway, so.
I have a story of when I almost got shot. When this happened back during basic training, I've never been in combat. So the only time I've ever been shot at is because some idiot, when we were going through live fire lanes, decided he was going to aim, and he wasn't aiming at the frickin' target. Instead, he was aiming near me. So the bullet was flying near where I was covering from the enemy.
What a fucking moron!
Yeah. So,
sorry, folks.
GG. But if, like I said before, if you ever, even just having a gun and pointing at someone, it'll stop them. And if it doesn't stop them, shoot them at the feet. Don't shoot at them, and that'll stop them.
Well, I have such.
Unless they have a gun.
I don't have any depth perception, so if I shoot near you, I have a 90% chance of actually killing you.
Do you need depth perception for a gun? You just need to.
No. You just need to point and shoot. Yeah. Depth perception is not really. That's if you're a sniper. Are you if you're using a sniper rifle? Yes.
Yeah.
If you're not using a sniper rifle.
I'm just sort of. I'd like to plan for the worst case scenarios. like something really odd out of the normal happens, I like to.
So you're talking about shooting somebody with a sniper rifle at close range, probably being no more than 150 meters.
No,
I'm trying to figure out why you got a sniper rifle in the
no,
first
I'm talking about
place.
them being 5 feet in front of me and missing.
5 feet in front of you and still missing. You can't.
Try me.
You can't. No, it is physically impossible to miss somebody 5 feet in front of you because all you have to do is point the weapon in the general direction. At 5 feet, you will most likely hit them. In fact, you have a 99% chance of hitting them.
Most likely. Most.
Here's the thing.
You are going to hit them.
I've actually heard, and I'm not sure if this is true, man. You might know because you guys know more about guns and you're a soldier as well. So
He does.
I heard when you're within about 5 feet of someone, if you have a knife and they have a gun, you're more likely to stab them than they are to shoot you or something.
Yes, because of reaction
time. That doesn't
time.
make any sense.
Because of reaction time.
Stabby, just because it's more personal.
Because of reaction time. Plus defense. I mean, there are things they teach us in the army that allow us to be able to fight hand-to-hand combat with someone having a gun 5 feet in front of us and us having nothing but a knife or our bare hands.
Okay, that's pretty awesome.
It's not hard. It's just calculation, movement, and getting the movements right. But really, all you need to do is knock the gun away.
Is what's holding you back there. Like for example, like me, I was bigger than that guy. Like I could have like taken him down with one arm if I wanted to. But the thing is, he has a gun, and even if he wasn't willing to shoot, it's not the level of like, am I going to do this? I mean, these people at the shop, no one's going to get killed here. They're just going to take some money. I'm not going to kill myself for money.
Money that isn't yours in the first place.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's understandable.
I'm getting out of here.
Oh, okay. Let's get back to Last House on the Left, as we talk about using people as body shields.
Yeah, but look, can I point something out here, right? This entire conversation we just had proves that in any situation of even near violence, all of us have instincts that kick in that will save us, whether it be to run immediately, fight immediately, or anything. Either way, this girl showed
the fight and flight.
Yeah, she showed none of these kind of things. Yeah, she did some occasional kind of trying to get away, calculated stuff, but at the same time, she didn't show at all the level that you really would in that situation. You know what I mean?
She did one fight. And that was the cigarette burner. The rest was flight, and that was only because she managed to get away. If she hadn't gotten away, she would have just laid there and taken it.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous. It seemed, I want to say cowardly, but it seems mean to say that, but it was. It felt like she was cowardly. Of course, the actual reason is that it was just written badly. But the only in-world explanation is that she is the world's most cowardly person ever, just ever. She's ridiculously scared of everything, because like she was like the bad things they were going to do to her and did to her clearly were horrible. So at that point, it's not what you got to lose. You know what I mean? That would be my logic. What's the worst that could happen? What's
Oz
already
ran out of hearts.
Yeah.
What?
Oz ran out of hearts.
Oh, also, you know, that guy they went to meet.
Yeah.
I hate him. Not the adult. I mean, I hate the adult too, but the kid, the younger one.
I hate the kid too.
Yeah, because it felt so cowardly what he did.
The rat-eyed.
He stood there the entire time.
Fucking snivelly ass bastard. Like, even if wouldn't you just beat the shit out of that guy? Like, if you were the guy doing the raping, wouldn't you beat the shit out of the guy doing the raping if you were him? I mean, like, if I do it, I come out looking like a hero. I'll become leader of the gang. Maybe I bang the girls. It'd be great.
Well, I can understand where the rat-eyed kid was just he'd probably been abused in the past, and so it was made it harder for him to do anything. But it was
but then the girls could have done something, and as soon as they would have done something, he would have moved.
I will say that the girls not doing as much was more of a problem than the kid.
Well, yeah, I think the kid was less of a problem so much than I just disliked his character. I disliked who he was. I disliked everything about him. He was the different. I hated the other guy, but this guy, he's disgusting to me. You know what I mean? He's like shit.
He's a punk.
Yeah. I bet he smelled. Would be my example. Like, I bet he smelled really bad. You know those guys you used to know in high school who always smell of shit for some reason.
I can't smell, so.
Well, then you're lucky because I knew. I was sitting in the back of primary school once, and this guy in front of me, I swear he shot himself. Smelled real bad. I was like, "Can you shut yourself, mate? You've done it.
Damn.
I can tell." I remember there were a bunch of girls sitting around him, and they kind of. I find it funny because I was sitting a little bit behind him, and I saw them all kind of like inch away from him slowly.
Oh my shit. I can't be subtle if I don't really like someone. It's just like, okay, I just won't talk to you. I'll fucking ignore you.
GG.
GG.
All right. What's the next question?
Okay, next question. Okay, what do you think about rape revenge flicks? Because I think this was, I don't know, I think this would be what The Last House on the Left could be classified as, because there's rape and there's revenge of...
It's a rape exploitation film is what it is. I mean, I would say the entire movie is based on the fact that this horrifying thing happened and we're going to exploit the hell out of it. So it's a rape exploitation film.
I Spit on Your Grave was so much better. That's all I'm gonna say.
That was just 90% rape is the thing, wasn't it?
Wait, can any of you do the Cinema Snobs voice?
What?
Cinema Snobs voice.
Yeah, you know
it's
that.
A rape exploitation film. I can't do it. I'm English. What do you expect?
I don't know. I was hoping.
I can do a certain one. I can make the voice of the rapist. Well, howdy, I'm gonna rape the shit out of this here truck. I'm certain it's what I do.
Oh my fuck!
And I have pissed off half of America.
You pissed
Come
off
get
the
me.
entire 5 people that watch this show.
Nathan Fillion's rolling over right
What?
now.
Who's rolling over?
Nathan Fillion.
Oh, good. I thought you said that, but I was like, did you just...
I was just imagining a gold prospector when I said that.
I thought you were like a
The guy from Toy Story.
For the place in the gold.
That toy from Toy Story.
Oh,
He was like the second one.
Yeah. You're going nowhere, Woody. You're staying with us forever. I was doing voices with my girlfriend earlier, and I did a really high one. I don't know if I can replicate it, but apparently it's the creepiest voice I can do. And
Okay.
I don't know how I did it. I just got to a level of highness in my voice that I sounded like a rapey piñata or something.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'll try and replicate it at some point, but be careful because it will fuck your ears up.
Well, if it's a rapist, so you know, that's what you expect from a rapist.
But yeah, as far as rape revenge movies go, this was the bottom of the list.
No,
I don't have a
Very
top of the
bottom.
list for rape revenge movies. I hate them all.
I
feel
Spit
like
on
they
Your
just-
Grave.
Well,
I enjoyed it. It was alright.
The Hills of Eyes one was
It was
pretty good.
pretty funny. The Hills Have Eyes, I don't really know. I watched the first one, but I haven't seen any of the others.
I don't
watched
know
it
if
on
I'd say it's
Sci-Fi.
a rape exploitation film, but it does have it in it, and I think it does have a lot of it in it. Okay, the first one was pretty good. The second one was bullshit. Do you want to know why the second one was bullshit?
Yes.
Okay, you know the problems we've had with the Last on the Left about the girl not fighting back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you like to know about this? Okay, one of the girls in the Last House, The Hills of Ice 2, gets raped and like impregnated several times and shit, and then birthed again, like a birthing matrix or some shit. Some horrifying shit by the hillbillies. But the point is, would you like to know what makes it worse?
What?
Yes.
This family of hillbillies, not too many, okay, kidnaps this girl, obviously, and does things to her. But would you like to know this girl? Would you like to know who she is and who her friends are?
Mm-hmm.
U.S. military.
What?
Yeah, so for some fucking reason, a dumbass family of mutated fucking hillbillies who can't move their dick or left pinky finger without hurting something, right, managed to kidnap a militarily trained female with her comrades around and somehow succeed in getting her for like a long ass time as her soldier friends can't do shit to protect her, even though they've got fucking guns up their fucking ass. It's like 15 fucking Rambos can't do shit. I watched that entire movie just thinking, you know, if I got my little sister and gave her a pistol, she could do better than that.
Yeah, well, Like that's worse than the Mary. Because
Yeah, it's
like
way
Mary at
worse.
least doesn't have training. She's a fucking swimmer. But if you have a military trained female,
She should have been able to, without a gun, she could have ripped those fuckers in two. But she didn't do shit. And I was just like, oh god, I mean, mother-in-law, it was embarrassing. They must have been the worst soldiers in history. You know what I mean? There are soldiers out there who literally shot themselves in
they're
the
the
butt by accident, and
stormtroopers.
they bed. There was no. Oh god, it was bad. I hate that movie for that. It didn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, that's really makes
Oh,
the
shit.
whole women being victims and not the helpless women. It's like all the women have to be helpless. They can't fight back.
Oh no, but the funny thing is, she wasn't helpless. They characterized her as one of those tough ass. You know the stereotypes I hate. The tough ass female smokes a cigar, drinks liquor. Oh, I'm a man, type thing. You know what I mean? Just like that. She was that up until the point she became a rape toy, which was horrifying.
That's the thing. Like some movies and pieces of fiction will have these badass females be badass until they need to be captured.
Yes, but that's the thing. I've said it before. That's why I don't think that works. I think that whole personality trope, I don't think it is making the female badass because it's just a set personality type you're putting on this girl to make her seem like that until you no longer need her to be like that.
Like
you know what I mean?
like in a Twilight about Bella being clumsy.
It plays the stereotype that all women who join the military are badasses.
Yes, and then
I can tell you from experience they aren't. But we won't get into that.
But at least they'd be able to fire a fucking gun at a fucking hillbilly.
Yeah, at the very least, she'd be tough enough to fight back some retarded hillbillies. You know what I mean? And by the way, you might say, "Oh, that's friends retarded." No, I'm not sure if you've seen the movie. Like the dude has a mutated head sticking out 5 miles to the left. Okay, he's retarded. He's got like flesh hanging off his chin. He's got balls on his chin. He has. Okay, like this is a man who is like radiated from the radiation. He's got like Down syndrome mixed with autism, mixed with retardation, mixed with cancer, mixed with like I don't know. Think of a disease of the brain. He has it. You know what I mean? It'd be simpler to say what he doesn't have.
Well, see, we had this female in basic training who she could run, she could do push-ups, she could do sit-ups. We called her Amazonian. She was short as hell, but she was a beast when it came to physical activities. Except she couldn't fire a weapon for crap.
What?
She couldn't fire a weapon for crap.
That seems like a fairly important part of being a soldier.
She could qualify. She qualified, obviously, and to qualify.
Is it because she was too light?
No, it wasn't that. It was she just couldn't shoot. She couldn't aim. She couldn't shoot. She couldn't follow the simple aspects of firing a weapon.
Could she shoot someone 5 feet in front of her?
Like I said before, anybody could.
The thing is, like, I don't see. How do you not like? Okay, I don't know how to shoot, but given the opportunity, I feel like I could learn it pretty easily. I'm not saying it's easy, but I feel like it's something that has a set like list of things I need to know, and I could learn. You know what I mean? I could learn how to do
really
it.
only 4 things you really need to know. That's breathing, trigger squeeze, reloading, and
you breathe out when you shoot, right? Like you hold your breathe like empty lungs or whatever.
Yes, you can.
Zombie teaches you that.
For me, I'll breathe in because when I breathe in, it brings my sights up. When I breathe out, it lowers my sights. So I'll breathe in, hold, fire, breathe out. But usually most people breathe out. They'll breathe in, breathe out, pull. Or sorry, why did I say pull? Squeeze.
You're thinking about pulling out.
But like, I mean, my point is made here. Like, these soldiers should have been able to protect themselves with ease, and they didn't. Like, they all had guns. It wasn't. One of them had an RPG, if I remember correctly. He had a fucking rocket launcher, and he couldn't do anything. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, that. which comes back to the point. Mary was a freaking athlete.
A swimmer.
Well, that
you know how hard it is to swim?
Shit's hard. She should have been able to outrun those fuckers and she could have taken.
Exactly.
A guy might have been able to overpower her, but pretty much all of those guys below her in terms of physical strength because of that.
The amount of muscles it requires to swim, because we do
I
swimming.
think all of them. Like, sure, she's not going to be buff, but she's like has some healthy stamina in all the muscles.
We do swimming PT all for sometimes on Wednesdays, which is where we get into a pool and we swim laps, and then we go for like a 2 mile run, and you could tell the difference, right? After you've swam, like say, I don't know, maybe a mile, and then you run 2 miles, your legs are solid freaking concrete. It's because it uses more muscles when you swim. It uses different muscles, obviously, but it still uses more of them rather than when you run on the ground, like say concrete.
It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. The amount of she should have been so much more stronger than those people. Though she should not never have been in that section. There was no situation where she couldn't have got out. No talent she didn't have that she couldn't have used to get out there.
Plus, most swimmers weightlift too. We did it when I was on the swim team.
Yeah, like I'm not saying a swimmer is like, and like let's be honest, that guy even if she swam, that guy probably would have overpowered her physically speaking, in terms of pure raw muscle. And I know this to be true because just generally speaking, if you're a guy, you have like 10 times the muscle mass of a girl.
Roughly.
That's not literally, but generally that is the case. If I got a female of the same height and weight as me, I'm probably gonna have more muscles than that.
Yeah.
So as a result, it's likely the guy would have done it anyway because, just assuming he does even a small amount of weightlifting, that would be the case. But that isn't all it takes. She probably has vastly more stamina than he does. You know what I mean? It's unlikely he could never keep up with her if she ran. She could keep kind of fighting for much longer than he could. The only thing she wouldn't have on him is raw brute strength, which is the one thing she wouldn't really need.
The other thing though is there's other things that require it, but her breathing would have been fine from swimming. So yeah, she definitely could have outrun at least two of them, if not Crude as well.
Yeah, and I feel like there were opportunity. Like if I was her at some point, or the earliest possible opportunity, kick the guy with the gun in the balls, make a run for it.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do.
Like that guy will be, especially in the forest. Like that guy would have been, the amount of time he'd be injured would be long enough for you to get out of range of the gun. Well, not out of range, but out of direct range. At which point you got some trees to back you up. He's not going to be able to get a clean shot. You're safe. But no, she decided to wait until her friend was dead, she was raped, and everyone was injured. Good timing.
The plot! There it
Makes
is,
so much sense.
right in the sky.
I think this movie, we can describe it pretty easily, right? Girl is idiot, gets herself into trouble she wouldn't have gone to otherwise. Hijinks ensue.
Peer pressure
like how you
overcomes all.
Hijinks.
Honestly, it really that's so annoying.
Did Adam try to put in his viewpoint there? I think I heard.
Pick your friends wisely. It's the moral of the story. Pick your friends wisely.
Yeah, if your friend decides on a commonly daily basis to go, hey, this stranger that I have never seen before in town is asking me to go over to this seedy little motel to smoke weed. I am going to do this. Don't be friends.
For cigarettes.
I would reply the following. Good idea, friend. I shall bring roses to your funeral.
For cigarettes.
She's a stupid fucker,
All
honestly.
of that for cigarettes.
I mean, a tweet, it's not that precious. I mean, it's illegal in the majority of the U.S., but it's not like I'm just going to go to a seedy motel. I mean, if she's pothead, she probably has other fucking friends she knows that she can.
No, just that. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not sure how many you guys. I'm not going to ask because obviously I feel like Marty on military Jash. I don't think you would anyway. But as a matter of fact, if you were going to make a deal like that or get anything like that, you do it in a somewhat public place. You know what I mean? Like not an overtly public place, but not in a fucking motel room, for example. In a place where you are where you have some privacy, but not too much. Like outside the motel room. Somewhere there. Like I don't know, the guy could park up next to you. That usually would be something you could do. That's more. You know why that's fine? Because both parties then know that you're ready to do safe place. You can't get away with doing what the fuck happened. What happened in that movie is why people do shit like that. Oh, this movie, we should show it to people in school and just be like, okay, see this movie? See everything that happens? If you don't do any of that, you're fine. Just do the opposite of what she does. It's fine.
You'll be fine. You'll be all right. You will have a good life, and you will live longer.
And also, FYI, you know when she swam to safety?
Yeah.
If she dived and like swam that way, yeah, she maybe could have done it. But I think swimming to safety might have been one of the dumbest ways she could have possibly escaped.
Oh yeah.
Because like it's like, swimming to safety, so I can see you the entire time you're running away. I can see where you're going. Why didn't they just wait until she got on the other fucking side?
They had to do that because that was her big character trait, and they kept on emphasizing her swimming. So
they should have made her a runner.
And that was mentioned. I was like, well, this is totally not going to be important to the plot at all.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? If you're the guys, okay, if you're the people who were doing this, and she gets in there, you might take a few pot shots when she's in the water, and assuming that effect where the bullet breaks it before it hits her happens, why wouldn't you just casually walk down until she gets across, and when she gets on the other side, pop. Because guess what? You can still see that far.
Same thing. I would do. That's how I would do it. I would probably sit there and watch her till she gets about, I don't know, maybe a third of the way in, and I'm like, all right, let's go around. Walk all the way around. Fucking stand there and be like, oh hi, did you have a nice swim? Here's a towel for you. And now here's a bullet to the head.
Yeah, it's a movie full of like leaps in logic and stupid things that just make me mad.
I like how we're basically helping our viewership commit crimes.
Look, guys, if you're gonna commit a crime, do it smart.
They have a TV show called How to Get Away with Murder. They have a TV show called Dexter that's all about getting away with mass murder. I mean, we can't possibly be influencing anyone any more than those TV shows already have.
But we're part of the problem.
Yeah,
it's not a problem.
If we are influencing your decisions, please send your proof to Jash Talks, please, and we will air it on the next episode. You could, maybe you'd be like our artist, except you will write our logo in the blood of innocence.
Holy shit, that got
Please
dark.
send the description to the submission to my Tumblr, so, hey. You are a horrible person, Omar, and I can totally see why I've kept you on so long as my co-host.
We do offer full disclosure. We will not go to the cops if anyone does,
Unless they're offering sushi or, lots of sushi.
Unless they're an ant.
If
you're an ant, we don't want it.
Of course, we can't have that.
No.
Ant?
We have
Ants or elephants. I discriminate against elephants, too.
Of course, we can't have that. Elephants.
Freaking elephants.
Sure if Marty was talking about ants or, the actual...
No, the insects. The insect ants. Like that movie Ants with the big buff guy that goes to be a miner. He's like, boom, boom, boom. And nobody thinks twice about the buff guy being a miner and the scrawny guy being in the army. Moving on.
I don't know that movie, but okay.
God, I remember that. And Ants was spelled with a Z.
Yes, it was spelled with a Z. And they fight roaches. And it was the most bloody kid movie I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, that movie! Oh, I know what you mean, the Woody Allen movie.
Yeah.
I like that movie, that was a good movie.
If you're talking about bloody ant scene, Animorphs number 5, when our heroes are being ripped apart.
No, this movie...
I know, but I'm just saying that's a little more bloody than, just...
This movie made Tom Hanks' movie, Saving Private Ryan, the very first scene, look like it was, people throwing paintballs.
I love how, Animorphs, this movie, Ants, it's like, these are for kids, but they'll give them nightmares for the rest of their lives.
Exactly. They're better off watching this movie.
Animorphs fans,
guys, you want to give kids nightmares? The Secret of Nim and The Land Before Time. The combination of those two movies will ruin a child.
I don't know if I cried at Littlefoot's mother's death. I can't remember. Maybe not.
You better have cried, otherwise you're a goddamn psychopath.
I cried at Boss's death. I'm a cold-hearted bitch.
Well, Boss's death was nothing compared to Littlefoot's death. Littlefoot's death broke me. I was like, no!
I didn't cry. It was the same thing in Lion King. For some reason, I didn't cry over those things. I was like, they're fictional anyways.
Now I grow
It's like
up and I
Bambi.
cry at stuff. Sometimes. It was like a... I like these kids' Mia's, like we know about Mufasa's, Littlefoot's mother's death, and then it's like as Animorphs, many of us, like, we heard the title of Ant-Man and we were slightly creeped out for like 5 seconds because we were remembering that ant scene, and like all these kids' medias have these terrifying consequences even when you're older.
Kids' movies, just crazy.
Crazy shit! Fuck. Yes, we're freaking out about kids' movies on a review of The Last House on the Left.
Because that movie, at least you learn something in it. It's not to have stupid friends. In any other of the kids' movies, you don't learn anything. What's the life lesson to learn in Lion King? Don't trust the creepy, crazy uncle?
The lesson is, first of all, don't be a dick kid, because if you do, you down totally be killed by your uncle. Eat bugs. Bugs are cool. If you have any friends who are tend to fart and have a small, kind of agile friend with them, you want to be good friends with them. They're going to help you out in the future.
And they sing a lot of songs.
Because lions in a pride are all related to each other, and Simba eventually gets married to Nala, I believe, who's technically his cousin. Obviously,
incest is okay.
Yeah,
incest is okay.
Incest is cool. Like the Doctor Who that needs to be on a little Doctor Who colored shirt. Incest is cool now.
I feel like no, it doesn't. But okay.
I'm just sorry because the 11th Doctor tend to say fezzes are cool, bow ties are cool. So.
I wear a fez now. Fezzes are cool.
I confess, I like fezzes.
Fezzes are freaking awesome.
Oh, fuck yeah.
They were before the Doctor even came along with them.
I want to get a fez for my dog.
So were bow ties. Bow ties were cool before the Doctor came along.
Yeah. But
you can thank Bill Nye for that.
Someone to point these things out so the masses learn.
If you ain't wearing a fez, you ain't doing it right.
Hey.
You know what I want to be cool again?
What?
What?
I want capes to come back. Or cloaks, technically. I want those to come back. Those
yes.
At first I thought you said cakes, and I'm like, okay, what?
That would be awesome.
How cool is that? I think you know what a suit's missing, like a proper suit? What's missing? A cloak.
A cloak, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And a dagger. Yeah.
Well, probably combining the two would cause both to be banned, but we want to have the cloak at least. Dagger, we'll do the dagger next time.
Okay.
Or swords. Just carrying a hilt, a sword on your hip, walking down the street.
No. You want a cane that has a sword in it.
They did that with Assassin's Creed.
That's better.
When they moved further into the more present or closer to the present day in Assassin's Creed, they had to take away the fact that you carry a sword at your side. So they brought out brass knuckles and swords inside canes. I'm like, damn.
Awesome.
What that?
Do you know? Wait,
you would never know.
Real quick tangent. The new Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Apparently, it's quite good, but it's still just an Assassin's Creed game. I'm really upset by it, even though it's better than almost all the generic Assassin's Creed games that have come before. The reason I'm upset by it is because it's the last game in this version of the Assassin's Creed franchise. You know, like they're changing it up now. Apparently, they're gonna do something entirely new, like almost rebooting it.
They did Assassin's Creed Identity for the iPhone that I just got, that I love to death.
I was watching. I need to finish up watching these videos if I haven't lost where they are on YouTube. That was explaining Assassin's Creed, and so it seems to be something with Juno. Did that ever get answered? Like, I guess when Desmond died, Juno was released.
Yeah, like I don't believe the timeline ever continued from there. Not as far as I know.
Yes and no. They
Well,
changed the main character from Desmond after 3 when 4 came around
yeah,
to a
it's
new
not an actual
person.
continuation. It's more like a
No,
side
definitely not.
story.
Well, actually, it kind of is because if you read all the subtext, it does have files of Desmond that uncover how he died and shit like that in
This
this
one viewer
in
changed
Black Flags.
Real quick, did you guys know that all the Ubisoft games are connected? Like the CEO of the company from Assassin's Creed 4, who you work for in the company thing, he goes away and never comes back, and he actually appears in Watch Dogs as a side mission to assassinate him, and
I
he
heard
actually
about
works
that.
for Abstergo, and the contract to assassinate him comes from an account called the Brotherhood.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and on top of that,
I believe on the
you might
Game
think,
Theorist YouTube channel, if you want to head over there and check that
yeah,
out,
amazing job.
they actually do cover that a little bit.
Yeah, it's
And someday
amazing.
I
Like the
will work
Far
for
Cry
them.
characters, all their abilities are likely descended from the assassins or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I want
Someday.
to point out, I love that theory because it all makes so much more sense. How this one random kid can go from being a bitch to being a goddamn fucking killing machine.
Yeah. And someday I wish to work for them. But I don't know about the new Far Cry Primal. I think that might be the beginning of the assassin's abilities because it
Yeah, I
does
saw
go
the
back
thing.
to
It
like
does make sense for it to be at the
damage.
beginning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although, really, I mean,
Oh
by
my
the
god,
Assassin's
that
Creed
game is
logic,
so
it's more like an
good. But
entertainment.
we'll get into that later.
Going back to Last House on the Left, even though I really do want to just continue listening to you talk about Assassin's Creed and totally changing the.
Make that a
There was
podcast
one
episode
viewer
someday.
came and went while you were talking about Assassin's Creed, so I think they were just like, "Oh, I'm going to, watch this podcast about Last House on the Assassin's Creed."
I highly doubt that was their thinking, but okay.
No, I don't know what the fuck the random viewers that come and go think.
They were probably thinking cheeseburgers.
Oh god, I love the cheeseburger with bacon on them.
That's
Okay,
what I think.
for those that saw the original, how does this compare? Any differences? Any things that were better or worse?
One change. That's all they did. The rest was
Yeah,
pretty much similar, from what I
damn near
remember.
identical.
Pretty much word. It almost felt like they took the old script, right, when they were coming up with the idea to remake this, and they were like, okay, let's change some things, and they all sat down at the table and spent about, I don't know, maybe four days coming up with new ideas. Oh, maybe they should meet a guy who smokes pot instead and go over to the house, and that's how the whole thing goes down, and this and that. And then they got past that point, right? After she escapes and swims and dies, they got to that point because that's when she got shot in the back. The same thing as the other movie, right? And from that point, once she got shot in the back, all the way through, it was like, man, this is really boring. Let's just keep the old script because there's nothing wrong with it. So they took the rest of the old script, put it in with the new script, and said, that's a new movie. It's a remake. Let's do this.
Yeah, I think that might explain why the character is such a fucking idiot, because she's basically just a copy and paste of a character from like the 80s, using sensibilities from the 80s.
1972, this movie was released, and it was still better than a 2009.
Jesus, it's really
The horror
point is it's basically the same.
horror films died in 2008. The horror genres died in 2008. It hasn't gone anywhere. There's been a few good movies every now and again, but the rest just no.
There are still good horror movies every now and again. I admit they are rare, but they still exist, and so
It's mostly POV movies now, and I hate POV movies. They're so weird.
You mean like the Poltergeist? Sorry, what's it called, the Paranormal Activity type movies, right?
Like Paranormal Activity or As Above, So Below.
Well, I wouldn't consider those B movies. I consider
POV.
movies
No,
not
POV.
having a theatrical release.
Jash.
Poor
Jash.
quality.
POV.
POV.
Point of view.
POV. I thought you said B movie. Sorry.
No, those weren't B movies. Those were high budget.
I don't like found footage films, so that explains why my mind just was like going, nope, nope.
Honest to God, while I didn't like the original that much either, I wasn't a big fan of it anyways. I could honestly say that it was better than the new one. In fact, so much so that the remake of the Stephen King's The Shining was better than this movie.
I haven't seen that, so I can't. So I
It's
actually can't.
freaking hilarious. It's just a catastrophe. There's like nothing good about it except for the fact that the main character, I forget his name, has a better character. Like his character is better, well
The
written.
father?
The father, yeah. The
Yeah.
rest of it is just crap, and most of it's them talking and talking. There's no actual any. There's maybe like 3-4 scares, and yeah, it's just all around shit. And it made this movie. Made that movie look like gold. Go watch it
I don't
sometime.
want to alarm you, but I didn't like The Shining at all.
The original or the remake?
Either. Didn't like either of them. And
You,
you might
you,
think,
you know
why?
what? You would be called Stephen King's hero because he loathed.
I don't know why.
Why? Because it's
I mean,
a
if I see it from the same perspective as him, I can tell you why. It wasn't scary. I felt like there were creepy stuff that happened, but I was never scared.
It was supposed to be a thriller, not a scary horror film.
Then I'm not surprised I wasn't scared. And on top of that, I never felt thrilled either, by the way. Because in the end, the only bad guy was the old, kind of chubby, not very threatening husband. The only scene that actually scared me was when she was in the bathroom hiding from him. At which point, I came to the same thought I came in this one. She kind of put herself in that situation a little bit.
See,
I mean, it's a very big mansion. If it was somewhere else, you could have ran, I'm sure.
but I'm not really looking at the view of the actual storyline when I say I like it. It was more of the characters for me, and they were well acted. Like they were well
It was
done.
well acted, yeah.
The
I
actors
think
were
what's his
great at
name?
it.
Jack Nicholson really got the face right.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson was fucking great at that role, and
just-
that's why I like the movie. If you take Jack Nicholson out of it, or the mom, or the little kid, or the black guy who shows up and gets killed.
Yeah, in the book.
If you take them out,
he survives, and I didn't like how he was in the movie even before I read the book because this was the black guy's role in the film. Hey, okay, I'll die now. Thanks for wasting all this time on my subplot just for me to die. Thank you.
I feel like if they all got to introduce themselves at the start, like Jack Nicholson will walk up, "Hi, I play the father," and then they go, "I play the mother, I play the child," and the black guy will go, "Hi, I play the black guy who's gonna die."
yeah. So this movie, when I watched it, like I said in the comment that I made on Facebook, the post I made, I felt like it was just a great waste of time for me to spend that hour that it took me to find the remake, and it took me 20 minutes to find it, and then I had to spend about an hour finding the right link and getting it to buffer because it was, well, I won't get into that. But anyways, once all of that's done, I sit down, finally watch it, and like 8 minutes in, I'm like, I got an hour and 45 minutes left of this. Fuck. Then I get halfway through and I'm like, man, is this over yet?
I do, before the actual action in the movie starts with, the girl and her friend getting captured and then raped, like, before that happens, I'm like, this is the stupidest shit, but once the action starts to go for me, then it's like, okay, I can now enjoy the ride.
I thought the action was decent, but I don't know. It seemed like everything that preceded it was bad enough to make the rest not really that good.
There's a fine line between setting up a movie and then taking fucking years to set it up, and they took years to set it up and get the action going, and that's why I think this movie was definitely a bad movie in my opinion.
Yeah,
it didn't work.
Okay, now is the point in time in the episode where we rate the film. So, Marty, you go
we
first.
raped the film?
That's what I thought I heard as well.
What? The rape?
Wow, you really didn't like the movie, did you?
Well, you're
Get like an ironic revenge on it.
Oh my god. Oh, shit. Shut up, Atlas. It wasn't funny.
How you doing, Poppy? You alright, Poppy? Poppy says hello.
Hi, puppy. Hi, puppy.
He's eating my hand.
What?
He's eating my hand.
Good luck with that.
Okay, Marty. Rate. Not
Rate the film?
Rate the film.
Got it. I would give it. I'd give it a 2 out of 5 possible whatever idiots. 5 possible idiots, because that's how many idiots there were in that show, that movie.
The show, movie, whatever. It's over with. I never have to watch it again.
Exactly.
I will give it a 1, signifying my rating of it, and also the amount of brain cells in that bastard chick's head.
I was gonna say that, but I feel like I gave it a little more because the action was good. Everything else just sucked about it.
I feel like I understand the action was decent, but at the same time, it's not hard to get that kind of action wrong at that point.
Hard.
Like, we hated him enough. They could have sat around poking him with crayons, and I would have been happy with it.
And somehow it still got a 53% Rotten Tomato review.
Okay, I'll be the odd one out, and I'll give it a...
47% of the world needs to be killed.
What?
47% of the world needs to be killed, then.
Okay, I would, God, okay, don't kill me for this. I would give it a 3.5 out of 5 don't go smoking weed with strangers, just because, for me, the action did balance it out and did make it enjoyable, and I did feel my heart racing, and I was... hard racing through the film, and then it had what I considered a nice, good ending for Krug of the father got the microwave working. That's for me the reason why I'll stand watching the whole thing. Just to continue to hate him, just so his head exploding makes it so satisfying.
I see what you mean, but I'm of the opinion that if a part of a movie is bad, of that level of badness that it was, then the rest of it being much better doesn't really make up for it too much because it's so bad it just ruins it. You know
Not just that, but it's physically impossible to explode someone's head in the microwave.
It was fucking cool.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It would like do some shit, but it wouldn't do that.
Marty, at this point in the movie, I had allowed all the other stupidity to pass, and so it's more stupidity on other stupidity. So it's like, at this point, I can't complain.
Fair enough. I'll concede.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Hang on. So, Omar, do you have your entertainment section that we've been waiting so long to hear?
Oh my gentlemen. So, I've only got one piece of news for you. It's so, I am a big Superman fan, as might be obvious at this point. He is my favorite superhero by far. I feel like he represents something about heroes that we've forgotten these days. Everyone says he's a Boy Scout, and I agree, he is. I feel like people forget that it's not that weird a thing to want to do good. Let's be honest, all of us got superpowers. We all end up being superheroes, right? We don't need to have our families killed in front of us or anything like that. We don't need that to be a superhero. We just know it's what we kind of do, right?
After I turn into seagulls and shit on tourists,
you'd be the first superhero not to have that happen.
Good.
I mean, you'd be the first superhero not to have that happen, but hey.
True enough. But regardless, it's one of the reasons why I like Superman. Now, why am I talking about Superman? Simple.
This planet blew up, though.
Supergirl, I've watched enough of it now to decide that it's a pretty good series. It's the worst of all of the DC TV series right now, I believe. Better than Gotham, I think, but worse than all the others.
Better than Gotham, for sure.
Yeah. But it's still decent. It's pretty good. I think it's getting a lot better. I think currently it's suffering from 2 problems. One, kryptonititis, which is the disease of having kryptonite down every fucking foxhole.
Just
because
like
one planet has somehow managed to put so much kryptonite on this one planet, but it seems more like it was a shotgun sprint of the planet, right? Like the planet destroyed itself and threw itself on Earth. That's how much kryptonite is in this world. It doesn't make any
the same
fucking
thing
sense.
for Smallville, yeah.
but it's worse than Smallville even. Like, these motherfuckers have kryptonite guns, kryptonite swords, kryptonite grass. If I can have kryptonite like food at this point, to flavor their pepper. But I mean, to make matters worse, I think there's a combination of one. I feel like the Kryptonians are too weak. They don't seem special. There are a lot of people who appear to have just as much power as them. And two, because of the story they've gone with, there are at least 20 to 40 Kryptonians alive currently. Sure, there are only like obviously there's Supergirl, Superman, who barely ever appears, and like 2 main people on the enemy side. But because of that, there are so many Kryptonians that once again it doesn't make sense. Because obviously Superman is meant to be the most powerful superhero, right? Just generally speaking, if you're in trouble, he's the guy who will save you no matter what. Because he can. That's his thing. His power, he's not a human. He doesn't have to be. He's a god trying to be. And they've kind of taken that away. They've taken that away from Kara as well. Her ability to get used to, because her powers aren't that special. She's mildly strong, mildly fast. Has laser vision that's mildly okay. You know what I mean? It's none of her powers are really. I feel like there is a character in every sense that could outdo her, when in fact that shouldn't be the case. So those are some problems I have with the show, but eventually that's going to get dealt with. Fort Ross or whatever. Eventually all the criminals are going to get put back in there at some point. There'll be no more Kryptonians left. And I'm guessing it's going to be a situation of, guess what, Kara doesn't know how to use her powers. Probably Superman does. I'm almost certain that Superman can, he's proven already. Several times he has run circles around it. But, why am I going on about Supergirl? Because I think Supergirl is a good enough TV series to be excited about the fact that the Flash is now crossing over with it. Yes! The Flash is crossing over with Supergirl. They are combining worlds. It's happening. It's probably going to be like Flash going to an alternate universe that has her in it. But regardless, I'm incredibly happy about this. Why, you might ask? Because it means 2 things. One, it means Superman is now in the Flash universe. Okay, it means that that's happening. And here's the thing: if Superman doesn't appear in that crossover, at least in a small way, if Superman doesn't meet Flash, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys advance warning to leave the United States, because it's not going to be there in the morning. I don't know who was involved in the decision to not involve him in that, but they won't be alive by the time the day comes.
Probably.
Omar, will you be providing transportation for me? Because I don't think I can.
I'll send a camel.
Why a camel, might I ask?
He's a Muslim.
Oh.
Gotta stick to it.
All right, there you go.
But yeah, so March 23rd, crossover between Flash and Supergirl is coming out. It's going to be great. I feel like there's no bad aspect to this at the very least. The Flash is vastly superior, and it's going to be a good thing.
They kind of have to because of the Justice League, anyways.
Yeah. And DC Legends of Tomorrow has been out long enough for me to give it a review, and I would say actually it is very good. It is a very good show. I feel like it's not a good show if you haven't watched Arrow and Flash already. It's definitely a show you kind of need to have watched the rest to have the best satisfaction out of. But if you have, you are going to enjoy it, because it's honestly, it has some awesome kind of stories. Like recently, they've gone to Star City, where the Flash where the Arrow lives, except they've gone to it in 2046, in a post-apocalyptic version of it. It's awesome. All he does, of course, appear, and he looks exactly like he does in the cartoon. In it, he has the whole beard situation going on, and it's beautiful.
Don't worry, I'll be teaching you soon, Salini, and feeding you.
Yeah.
Omar and Loki are having a long distance conversation.
Yeah, check it out. It's great. Lucifer, the TV series, is continuing. It's getting fairly good reviews. I agree. Pretty good TV shows. Give it a go. And yeah, that's all I've got to say for now. I have got some more shows to catch up on. I believe next time I'm going to have a quite full-up entertainment section. You should have a lot to hear about. But yeah, for now, March 23rd. Check it out.
Okay, Omar, after your entertainment section, do you have any announcements to make?
Yes, I've basically finished all this stuff for my channel that I'm making. For those who don't know, it's basically going to be Originally, it was going to be a Dragon Ball channel. Now it's going to be generally a comic book Dragon Ball channel. But I'm going to do mainly Dragon Ball stuff to begin with. Essentially talking about all the stuff random people want to know, new episode reviews and stuff like that. Common questions: who would win between like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Beerus, for example. I feel like I have something to add to that variety of stuff. I've watched Dragon Ball since I was a kid. I know pretty much everything about it, and I think I can add something to that whole genre, and it'll be good. You should give it a check when it's done. I will link it when in probably the next podcast. I'll have it done by then, so I'll link it then.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah. Woo, Marty. I mean Omar. Whatever.
Wow. Thank you. I just got cheered for no reason. Made my day.
Yeah, I made you watch a film you hated. I've already done you a favor. So, do you have any announcements to make besides
Done me a favor?
to kill me?
Nah, I wouldn't tell you that. Let me see. Not really, because of the recent setbacks in the publication era of copyright and crap. I will not be able to.
Crap.
Yeah, and crap, because it's bullshit. But we won't get into that. Cortana, stop listening. God damn it. Anyways, I won't be able to actually put my book on shelves, so instead I'm going to have to look for alternative means of publishing. Might just be a self-publish, and I might just have a couple books produced for my personal use, and for anyone who may want one.
Yeah, personal use.
I won't be able to sell them.
So naughty.
Not at all. I won't be able to sell them, but I will be able to distribute them as in hand them out. So, oh shit. So that kind of angered me. I recently got back into video games, so I've been doing a lot of those lately.
Are we ever going to be doing a team up like we were supposed to?
Yeah, I'm still working on that. I've run into a couple problems with my PC, which is why I've had a minor setback on that, but my server is ready to go. So as soon as I get my PC fixed, I will be able to start that up. In the meantime, we can do some Steam games if you'd like. We can talk about that later. But yes, I will eventually be putting some of those onto my channel, as well as other plays I've been doing. I've recently been modding Minecraft mostly, and I've been looking at a couple different packs that they have, and I might be showcasing some of those, as well as some other games like Mass Effect and stuff like that. Those will either be on my Twitch account, unless they're on I record them on my PC, in which case they will be on my YouTube account, and I will eventually put the videos from my Twitch account onto my YouTube account, but that'll be a whole nother problem. Deal with that at a later date. And finally, I've got nothing else to say. That's pretty much it. So expect that to be in the near future. By the near future, I mean within the next month. I apologize that it's been so freaking long of a process for me to get all this stuff. Lots of little bits and pieces have been falling apart, and I've had to fix. And thank you, Cortana. I did not want you to sing Kelly Clarkson, but thank you.
What?
My laptop is. I have Windows 10, and it has that new Cortana thing. So every time I talk, it somehow registers it as me talking to Cortana, and this time it, for some reason, decided to bring up "Because of You" by Kelly Clarkson. So there you go.
Look at it, sounds good. My phone will at times, like I'll just be, say, talking on the phone with Revs or making a vlog, or sometimes during these podcasts. Like this little thing on S-Speak or whatever on my phone will just pop up like I'm searching for a term.
Yeah, I think they've made these things too sensitive, but it's a work in progress anyways. They're definitely still beta testing material. They are far from perfect. So we'll see what happens with those. But anyways, yeah, I will probably next time I come on here, which will probably be sometime in the next month. I will have a link for my YouTube and Twitch for you guys. Because by then I'll actually have content on there that's not just me fucking around and testing my equipment that I have.
Testing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like my God of War, I played God of War a little bit on Twitch the other day, and I had to test my mic out, and it was not working at all. So I have to get a new one, or figure out why this one's not working. Stuff like that. It's pretty much just stuff like that. All the technical stuff is fixed as far as, the actual server being built. That took me, I don't know, it's been, 5-6 months, and 8-10 people have helped me produce it, or build it. It's freaking massive. But yeah. So, I can't wait for that to happen, but till then, I've got nothing else going on.
Yeah, I'll start making my whole list of announcements. The Final Destination review and 2 vlogs. The vlogs talking about things on supernatural words. The 2 vlogs talking about things on supernatural and The Walking Dead. They're already on my YouTube and uploaded the springboard, but I haven't put them on my blog yet, and that will be happening soon. Plus, my most recent All Hail the Shadowbinder on my Flight Rising podcast. Those videos should all be up on my blog either tonight or tomorrow. I'm finishing up the latest part of my Animorphs reread. I've finally written everything. Now I just have to make the graphics and do the editing, and then I'll do the release scene. I've started a new series, web series called Chronicles of Gaia, and instead of doing it in ebooks, I've done it as a web series. And it's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi series about these thousands of years ago. There basically was a division between the humans that stayed on Earth and humans that left, and now they don't exactly like each other, and then the humans that left are starting to return. So
some shit happens, more shit happens. Check it out.
Yeah, it's only so how this works is that everyone can view the chapters for free. However, those who pay can view the chapters in advance, such as right now, the chapter 1 only has a preview on the blog, the Chronicles of Gaia.blogspot.com. But if you do donate to the Patreon, you can view the chapter now. Well, if you don't pay, you get to view the chapter March 13th, 2016. Plus, besides donating to Patreon and viewing the chapters early, you also get bonus content such as behind the scenes and bonus chapters. Well, it's a really big project, so go to check it out. Check out the preview of chapter 1 if you just can't stand waiting.
Do it, fool.
Yeah, and plus donating to my Patreon has its own perks besides, viewing the Chronicles of Gaia, since my Patreon is for my whole blog. We also, for $1 a month, you can get updates about my upcoming ebooks. And yeah, I am having ebooks happening in the future. I'm working on my debut one right now. I also had another Penguins one that I'm just waiting for the cover artist to finish the cover, and then do editing, and Marty will do the formatting.
Yeah, format. Yeah. Which means I'm gonna actually read it too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but don't give out spoilers to anyone, or you will die.
Spoiler alert. I'm going to die.
So, and then $5 a month, you get a 30-minute exclusive. And we were talking about our phones fucking, picking shit up, and that's what I decided to pick up. Oh, $5 a month, 30-minute exclusive vlog. Hi, Jash! But $5 a month, you get a 30-minute exclusive vlog. So, where I just really talk about random shit. I haven't had anyone donate $5 a month, so right now the 30-minute vlog is me talking about whatever interests me at the moment.
That ought to be interesting.
That is. You donate $5 a month, Marty, and you can find out for yourself.
You guys should donate $5 a month so you can check it out. That's 30 minutes of your life you really don't want to waste.
Money!
Which means you should do it, because it's got to be interesting things. So do it. Donate.
Omar was chiming in.
Subliminal messaging.
Money.
Dog subliminal messaging.
So yeah, Chronicles of Gaia shit is going to go down. I mean, it might seem like a nice steady thing with hardly any action, but by chapter 3, shit is going to hit the fan. And I can't wait to get chapter 3 out merely to see the people that are reading, to see their horrified expressions of going, how can it get any worse? Because in all honesty, I don't know either. I mean, I just going to do some bad shit in the 3rd chapter, and I'm just like, I don't know how things are going to get worse.
Well, we said that about Eternal Heart, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, she ends up in hell. I don't know if I'm going to finish it up in my lifetime, so I'm just going to say, yeah, she ends up as a ruler in hell, unable to leave, or else Skynet will come back.
Seems legit.
Lol, what?
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 As someone who hasn't read that properly yet? What?
No,
Oh,
the Eternal Heart, I haven't even gotten the halfway part of the first, part of the fanfic trilogy, and I'm going to actually be changing how I write my fanfics, like on, how I manage my time, so that new chapters of my original series and fanfic series should start to get out quicker.
Yeah, but yeah,
I listened to Taylor Swift's song that when I started outlining SNN, one of my original series, it played a big part in getting me into the emotions of the characters, and then I'm like, yeah, I definitely do really want to continue writing this.
Yeah, good times that was. I remember the beginning. That was back in what, like 2010, 2011?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to write the Green and SNN merely to get out my. I hadn't been writing for a while, so I was doing that merely to start writing again.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
Some odd
17 years later,
years
Apocalypse
later.
began. It was known as the release of the Apple iPad.
Oh, the Acolyte Party? What?
The original sin was that Eve took an Apple tablet from the tree.
Oh, okay.
Remind me, I'll send you guys that picture.
My announcements. I'm having another Flight Rising Dragon giveaway on my main blog, jashikins.blogspot.com, and I'm going to be doing it February 29th. Because, a leap year, and people on Flight Rising are just like, oh my god, hey, anyone who's having, like, dragons hatch on the 29th, can you please show me the pair, and I'll decide if I want them or not. So, here will be some dragons born the 29th that you won't have to pay for.
Cool.
Flight Rising people will get it. Everyone else will be like, so?
Yep. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay, some donation options. I am Jashikins on Fiverr, and I do writing commissions. I'll edit, I'll review, I'll give some life advice. Head over there. We need not money.
Do it now. Now.
Yeah, because
Now.
I'm actually spending
money.
I'm actually spending a good amount of my
Have you done it yet?
now to advertise on Subeda so that people will notice there, click, and last time I checked, which was last night, was around 26 clicks total. That was a bunch, and that cost about $10 to get that amount.
It's more than we had last time.
Yeah, it's like, hang on, I'm actually going to check now. Just see, because what happens with Subeda is they'll allow your like billboard to get shown viewed by so many people, and then you also get clicks along the way. And
Nice.
clicks mean they actually went. Now 29.
Oh, there you go.
4 more people. I think. I don't do math. I'm horrible at math.
Nobody does math.
I
They
just
just
know
accept it as reality.
I just know that it's more than 26.
Oh, crap.
Okay. Also, if you go on my bloggity blog, jashikins.blogspot.com, I found out my donate button is working. Someone was going to donate for Chronicles of Gaia on my Patreon and accidentally did the donate option, so I returned her money. And we found out the donate button does work, so if you are reading the blog and you think I deserve mun-muns, the donate button works.
Do it.
Do it.
Have you done it yet?
Do it.
Why not? Do it.
Money!
And
Free
finally,
advertisement brought to you by Martin Bedell.
and I've revamped my my cafe press shop so it's a lot less cluttered. Oh god, that's
Don't want that colored ones up in here.
what?
Don't want any colored ones up in here.
Yeah, so I've gotten rid of all the old designs, and I'm having a new design a week. So, and if there are designs that people are asking about or like, I'll expand the selection on things you can get them from. And my phone wanted to join in on that. Like, what the fuck? Wow. So yeah, that's it helps. The Cafe Press helps support me. And right now, there's a design with Silene, my cute little parakeet on it. And then there's one of 3 of my random penguins. Stuffed penguins, not real penguins.
And if you buy $10 worth of our stuff, you will get a signed picture of a beetle.
What?
You heard me. You don't have to freak out too much, guys, okay? Signed picture of a beetle. Bear in mind, I mean the insect. Not the singer. Because the beetle is dead. You need it?
Okay, now
All right.
closing, since
Something I wanna
everyone's
subscribe.
given the announcements, Omar has gone crazier.
I want to point out I've actually been incredibly tired this entire time. I've done this entire podcast on the energy of 1 cup of Coke. And I think it's run out.
And now I'm just thinking that it's like the drug, not the drink.
I think I see God.
Oh God. Okay. Anyways, I have been
Looks like Angelica.
Jashikins, and this has been Jash Talks. And if you have suggestions for any future episode, a future review, a future topic, please comment below. Let us know. What the hell was that?
Sorry,
No
my
idea.
window was open and Retreat started playing, so I had to shut my window.
Okay, here's the thing.
The police sirens going by.
Here's the thing, gents, right? Lately we've been doing fairly controversial topics, right? So what if we just take this to the moon, okay? Next podcast, why the Nazi Party was right.
Yeah,
I don't know
Except
how
I
we can
can't
argue
be
that
there.
point, but we're going to try.
except I can't be there because I did this podcast.
No, actually, what Omar and I have come to an agreement to is, if we can't find any other guests, you can be the backup guest.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Yeah, I just decided to agree with Omar with this. I've been thinking about it for a while, and you come when called, and your picture's a dog, so have to.
I was debating on changing that actually, but I haven't figured out what new picture to put up there yet.
Another
I'll
puppy?
get back to you.
Another dog?
I'll probably put up my other dog.
Look!
I'll switch it up.
Doggies! Sorry. Not
Oh,
sorry.
apparently it's
That's what you do.
17.
Put up a picture of a cat, and then let your dogs and cats know, and then watch the war and see.
What?
Just make some extra money on the side by arming them. Don't let the other one know you're doing it though. You know? Hey cats, look, I'm giving you this weapon. Okay, it's gonna cost you a bit, but I'm only giving it to you guys. 5 minutes later, hey dogs, look, I'm giving you this weapon. Okay, it's gonna cost a lot, but I'm only giving it to you guys. And they go to war and making all that money, all that grease, all that paper.
So, do what most countries have been doing for thousands of years.
Yes.
Okay, Omar and Marty,
I can play Trojan Horse.
Trojan condoms. So I have been Jashikins, owner of jashikins.blogspot.com. Again, please send us, topics, suggestions for topics, and can't wait to see you next week. Marty, do you have any closing comments before I kill you?
That trumpet was really loud, and I'm about to die.
Okay, Omar, you know the drill here.
There once was a man named